Last time, on whatever this series is called.
A lot of new friends at the same time. That is 4 waves in total right now. Heals go down, skills are being activated, and so much damage being dealt at the same time.
And it looks like it could be too much the last heal spent, but there are just too many enemies. A desperate pause, but without a real point, and Troy is down as Ken turns to run in panic before he gets ripped to shreds in the darkness. While Yulari realizes that even if she can clear this together with Nano, there are more enemies heading straight for the energy
Well,
core.
right now, and it really only is a question of time before the team is officially eliminated. And I really have to say, what was it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's a beautiful day outside, and all over the world people are tuning in to watch the biggest event since the invention of the wheel, or so.
That's right, Matt, and still there were only so many teams to make it. Only 3 teams left to fight over the incredible prize pool of... There is no prize pool, never mind.
Let's call it a charity event.
You know what, why not? All the money will go to lag victims of MOBA games.
Those poor, misunderstood souls. Anyway, Floor 5 coming up.
Floor 5, huh? It feels like so much has happened since we started this. Remember Floor 1, when everybody was ready and confident and alive?
Yeah, those were the days. By now every door could be your last, and you can almost feel the tension climbing up for our remaining teams. As Septarish here and Uppert especially, I mean, they have some catching up to do.
Economy-wise maybe, but to be fair, until now they did quite well. Maybe even better than the other 2 teams. I don't remember many situations where we really struggled to make it.
Well, couldn't you say that about the others as well? I mean, sure, there were some minor issues in the early floors, but overall, everybody's still able to stand their ground. And look, Josh and Anar's team going for the first of the final economy upgrades here already. Getting all 3 of those is such a huge deal for the upcoming challenges after all. I mean, quite impressive.
I don't know, I'm kinda torn on the final science upgrade, to be honest. That is 100 research points to boost your research by 1. I mean, assuming you build 2 science modules on every floor after getting the upgrade, which most people won't be able to do anyway, that would still take 50 doors just to get the initial cost back in, and only after that would you actually start gaining something from that. I feel like you could almost be better off just not getting it.
Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, the first Modbuster has appeared.
I hate them so much.
And you're right to feel that way, these blue giants are so tough to deal with. This one is dealt with quite quickly, but seeing one always means there are more in the way. And they tear down everything you love.
Sounds like a traumatic childhood experience. Now, as Septarish and Uppert found an artifact pretty early this time, and should finally be able to spend their research points going for the pepper spray module here. Quite a powerful choice, but also always a little dangerous.
What do you mean dangerous? I love those.
Good for you. But they can actually backfire when targeting one of the fuggliest, for example. You see, normally they wander around a little bit, giving you time to kill them, but as soon as they turn against their own kind, they enter their detonation phase almost immediately. And that still hurts, no matter if they want to help or not.
Yeah, fair enough. But still, taking one of those leapers or stun snakes out of the mix can mean so much in a tough situation.
Oh, that's quite a lot right there. Cooking with gas goes down and he even, he has to heal already. That could actually become quite a tough floor for them.
Well, there were no turrets down yet, and apart from this choke, the whole right side is powered already, so they should be able to do it as long as they're careful. I know we say that time and time again, but the easy part is over and they really have to be aware of that by now.
Yep, I strongly agree. And here comes just another reminder, and Gork and Lees fire all they have, but the Mudbusters still get some damage done before collapsing. Now Rakia could come over and repair, but would of course have to leave a room for that, so they might just decide against it.
Food 4 also on the way by now, but those upgrades naturally only pay off if you have modules, and keeping those intact might pose a bit of a challenge in this particular floor.
Right, but after all, every team has to deal with some Mudbusters sooner or later. Now, as Septarish and Uppert have to deal with 3 waves almost at the same time because the spawning rooms are very small and right next to each other, but they are aware of it and taking precautions in time, and it's quite fascinating how considerably the random layout of the dungeon can affect the challenges our teams have to deal with.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of enemies right there. Septarish and Uppert are still busy on the other side of the core, and you gotta be kidding me. Uppert decides it's a good time to level up, and my god, they need to come down here.
Max and Dina amidst some turrets severely outnumber Dina, even refusing to leave a room in the first place, and Max, so much damage, can he make it?
I can't even see him, he's right in the middle of that pile of enemies.
Ouch, that must have hurt. Max goes down for a second time in this tournament, and you really have to thank Oppot for that, but even with those turrets, the fight is not over. Dina in a lot of danger as well now, has to move out, and Oppot is still operating on the other side of the core. Dina moves back in. Oppot really should realize it's time to come down here, as Azeptaro's health plummets, and I'm not sure he can leave that room anymore.
And I'm pretty sure he thinks the same, but can make it. Only now Oppot realizes how little his team cares for extra resources at the moment and finally decides to come down while Dina tries her best to kite the remaining enemies.
And she's actually doing quite a good job there. Only a handful of nibblers left, and finally the whole mess gets cleaned up. But the team is back to 3 members because of yet another unnecessary level up.
Right. Kids, never level up right after opening a door. It's just not worth it.
Well, to be fair, it does have its benefits. There's a very small line where that increase in DPS and defense actually would work just as well, effectively saving your heal. But that only works as long as you would only need 1 heal or 2 maybe, but in order to level up you have to invest a lot more than that. And it's hard to decide when you can actually get away with it.
Sure, but if you can't, you're in a world of pain. Josh and Nana on the other hand, still defending without much of a problem. I think the high amount of duo hunters in every wave helps a lot here, because they can just let them pass first and still take them out once the rest is cleared. But that obviously only works because of that long way to the crystal.
Right, and they even had Mormish back there as backup, and some pepper spray modules as well, so even though each new door brings another large wave of enemies to their doorstep with so many dark rooms, their defense can actually deal with it, I think.
Yeah, and during all of that they even have an artifact neatly tucked away in the back to keep upgrades rolling in. Good stuff.
Back at Camp Raki and Elise, there's still 3 ladies operating with Gork as the door opener, and there we see Raki alone in the room with another modbuster, and both start chipping away on their respective targets, and without reinforcements, the big guy will be able to take it down. But Yuleri still have to take care of the Jewel Hunter first, and yeah, really annoying. It's left to be seen if they will actually rebuild, but personally, I gotta say I've always tended to just leave those rooms empty. If you can't defend it once and then it gets crushed a second time maybe, that's just more resources wasted after all.
Well, there's just no true way to do it. You just don't know enough. You don't know how many rooms are left, or if you'd be able to defend or not, or if it would pay off. You just have to rely on your instincts and hope that it works out after all. Now, checking back on Azeptaro's and Oppot, they still hang in there, but they already lost Max, so they are in quite a tough spot at the moment. And look at how many enemies are rolling in from all sides right now.
Right, there are a lot of turrets and pepper spray as well, but it still could be too much for them. The heals are burned up so quickly, and there goes the last one. Can they actually do this?
I don't know, Matt. Azeptaro's very low as well and will have to retreat back into one of the rooms on the side. But Dina apparently finished defending and should make her way down here any moment now. Turrets are still constantly dealing damage, and the pepper spray also turning enemy after enemy against their own kind. And there she is. Dina comes to the rescue. Azeptaro's also going back in for a little bit of damage. And I think they will actually be able to do it. Quite an impressive performance to hang on here. But of course things do not get easier, and they haven't even found the exit yet, so they have to keep fighting.
Right, and at this point they probably wouldn't mind to leave this floor early. Different attack angles, a lot of dark rooms already, and of course only 3 team members. By now they are in grave danger. And
oh, hang on. Raki and Elise, they're having a lot on their plate as well right now. 2 Jewel Hunters running straight for the core, a Modbuster coming in, and of course a lot of Silix at the same time. And they are too slow to deal with everything. Gork is just not keeping up. Raki is still operating, and there goes. Some dust is lost. The Module goes down as well, and the Modbuster might even get a second one if left alone.
tough blows are being received here, but Gork and Yuleri should be able to take it out in time. But still, you can really feel how this dungeon starts to show its true potential here, and our teams will have to steer away from that attitude of getting away with not building defenses, leveling up instead of healing. All those shenanigans could result in a brutal death. And that really would be too bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, don't say it like that. Now Josh and Nana have just opened the final door and are rewarded with a... Whoa, that is a lot of enemies there. Ken, of course, a little too far away. They have to start burning those heals, and every even remotely useful ability goes down. But that is so much, they are practically stacking on top of each other. They might have some food left, but those unpowered rooms all neighboring choke makes for a ridiculous amount of enemies, and this could actually turn out to be a dramatic turn of events here for Josh and Nana.
Well, they are throwing down turrets back there as well, so I think they will try to retreat. Ken, of course, finding himself on the wrong side of things, but as long as they can make it out of that room alive, they should be able to regain some composure. And the longer distance would naturally help spread those mobs out a little bit.
Well, hopefully. The pause should be lifted any second now. And there it goes. That is such a close distance, but still they have to heal already. But as soon as they're out of the room, aggression should ease up a little, and the pepper spray and the turrets are still working away on that wave. Ken decides to not get involved for now, and I think that is a smart choice.
They are making good progress, but a significant part of the mobs will still be able to reach that fallback position, and all abilities were activated already, but after all...
They made it! And they opened every door of the current floor and are in fact ready and waiting for the other teams. Nice work.
Actually, Aseptage and Oppot are also ready to go by now, and we're only waiting for Rakia and Elise now.
Right, and they have been struggling quite a bit to keep their modules intact. Gork, of course, has the ability to draw aggro from those busters, but man, they hit like a truck.
Is he actually? Wow, Gork can't stand the damage and has to retreat, and you can almost feel how much he hates to back out, but now apparently going back in to leave neutral Sarah to deal with the mobs.
Yeah, but that won't work. These guys are just ignoring Sarah, and Gork made a critical mistake there. Suddenly he finds himself in the middle of the room without heals, without an escape route, and Eulalie pops one of her abilities to provide him with a little bit of extra defense, but it's gotta be close.
Or not even close, to be quite frank. With that, Gork goes down a second time as well, followed by another module shortly after. And only now do Rakia and Elise realize that they should have helped sooner maybe, being quite sloppy here. But that is something that the dungeon will punish time and time again until you either learn or die.
Sadly true. By now the other teams are only waiting for Rakia and Elise, and referee Mormish decides to speed up the whole thing a little bit. And look, they made it! Incredible performance just a second ago. Mind-bending action here. Too bad you guys couldn't see it.
Could you stop messing with our audience? We are of course making sure not to miss anything, but this floor has more than 60 doors already and just as many potential waves, so we felt the need to be a little selective. Now on screen we can see Team Rakia and Elise opening the final door, ready to grab the crystal, and will start off the run to the elevator right now.
Or not. Oh, I see. They just realized they found some extra food in that room, and because of that they are actually able to take Saranumas with them to the next floor, therefore replacing the slowest character in the game with the quickest, and that really turns the whole team composition upside down. I like it. And now we should be ready, right?
Yep, any second now. And with Sarah as the new 4th member, they shouldn't have too many problems. Even while carrying the crystal, she is still incredibly fast, and can in fact still outrun slower characters. So no big deal here.
The same goes for Aseptage and Oppot, a fully powered room to the exit, and they even found a replacement for Max already. So say hi to Josh, everybody.
Hi to Josh, everybody.
Seriously?
Apologies, I expected that to be a lot funnier than it turned out to be, so yeah. Could you say something? I kinda feel a little awkward right now.
Right. Now, Josh and Nanor, please take a moment to admire this map. Our teams might struggle to stay alive, but at least they have no problems when it comes to dust for now. Ken carries the crystal, the others block every single unpowered room along the way, and before you know it, all remaining teams are on their way to floor 6 already.
Indeed, and what a floor it's been. 2 teams losing a character, but both able to recover before it takes a turn for the worse. And there was so much research going on. I'm really curious about the new standings.
Yeah, me too actually. Now looking at our teams, Aseptage and Oppot actually quite a bit ahead of the rest here. 2 characters already hit level 7, and Josh and Nanor only gaining 1 single level for Ken in this floor. And of course there's the newcomers, but we will see next time if they manage to catch up with their teams.
Now if you were wondering why Josh and Nanor's team only gained 1 level this floor, now you can see the reason for that. Going all out on research again, that is almost too much if you ask me. Apart from that, Rakia and Elise building the highest number of modules, but on the other hand they had to deal with modbusters, so that probably puts that into perspective.
Also very few resources left for Rakia and Elise to start into the next level. Now research, let's check it out. Rakia and Elise are in fact maxed on economy upgrades, Aseptage and Oppot still a little behind, but nothing too severe going on. Some new modules were also added to the mix, namely the emergency generator for Rakia and Elise as well as for Oppot and Aseptage, and some minor upgrades, most notably the mechanical pel and of course the pepper spray.
Alright, I'm already looking forward to the next floor, but what else is there left to say?
Not much, except that we promised to upload this floor on Wednesday, and it is already Wednesday evening, so better start uploading!
You're right!
Ah! I'm not gonna lie, my cough had become worse. and after almost a week we got raided again and Pablo got wounded quite badly, and we had no bandages, no painkillers. All we could do was splash some fucking moonshine on the wound 3 times a day, while Matei fed all our meds into that bottomless pit of a disease that was his father. So see you later, Mrs. Spider. As she's gone, of course, panic mode sets in, and spastically shaking left and right helps us to break free and get away.